So we are going to do, I think it's our 9th show, and this is again a grass court season run-up to Wimbledon. If you haven't seen the previous 7 or 8 videos, we have finally decided to hopefully deliver some tennis news to all of you because we have always wanted to have it delivered to us. So hey, a great opportunity to bring some good tennis news to you. So we did the men's from today and notable matches for tomorrow earlier, so we're going to jump right back into the women's. Is that all right?
Sure, let's go.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to rely on Carla a lot here because I get amped up a lot about the men's and sometimes with the women's, but she's a woman and a great player, so sometimes I like to defer to her for the women. So let's see how it goes. So today we had some matches that completed at the Mallorca Open, which is in Spain. By the way, in men's news, Rafael Nadal has entered back into the Mallorca Open. He withdrew from Queens this week, and he'll be playing there next week. Today, though, we had Kerber and Allison Risk go into the third set, tied at 1-1, and go into a really short third set or what's left of a match tomorrow. Who wins here?
I mean, you would expect Kerber to win, right?
I would expect it.
But with the rain delay or probably no rain delay, it probably got dark.
Probably got dark.
And that's actually Risk got lucky on that one. Because if she can come back fresh, 1-1, I mean, she's got a chance, but I would expect Kerber to win this from experience.
Yeah, I'm surprised it even went this far. Again, I'm pro U.S. tennis, but it's awfully boring for me now. No disrespect, but I really thought Kerber would roll through this, and I think she will still roll through it tomorrow. If not, go Risk. Great job. Keep up the good work, but I think it's going to be too much for her tomorrow.
We'll see. I would love to watch that match, but they don't really even show it on the tennis channel.
Yeah, we were watching Tennis Channel today for our updates. Now, thank you for mentioning that. But we were watching the Tennis Channel today, and every match was even a non-consequential men's match where there were some good women's matches playing, but we never saw them. So again, we can funnel back to talking about prize money and so forth. But I think if you're going to take away money from the women, as I look more and more into it, I think maybe we should think about giving the women equal marketing and television opportunity because there are some good women out there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sad. I mean, they didn't even mention it on the new channel. They have Tennis Plus. You know how you get to watch your regular matches on Tennis Channel, and then they have the Tennis Plus if you want to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no mention of women's tennis today. Pretty sad.
There was absolutely no mention. We got up this morning to play some tennis here pretty early, 6:37. We came back, we watched a couple of matches, we went back out to clean the tennis courts, we came back, we went back out to take the kids, we came back, and all along the way we were on Tennis Channel, we were on a lot of our other outlets, and unfortunately we heard more about Nadal playing next week, we heard more about inconsequential men's matches, and again, I'm all for it, but don't take away, I don't think, from the women at this point if you're not going to give them equal opportunity to have airtime and thus forcing them to do swimsuit calendars. So give them a break, I think.
You know what's sad too? Usually when we're trying to find out information about the men and the women, the ATP site is great. You go into the WTA site, there's so many issues with it. I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, you can't even get the right scores. I mean, the site is confusing. It doesn't even look good.
Yeah, so in essence, when we go and we get our draw information for these shows for you, the ATP site is splendid. Draws right there, boom. Live up to dates, boom, done, completed. We go to the women's site, it's not even put together very well. It's hard to find results. So a lot of the draw results we get are directly from the tournament sites, sometimes in different languages, but when you play tennis, regardless of the language, you can see the scores and people's facial expressions and the pictures that we see. We don't have to read the same language to tell the scores. So unfortunately, the WTA site that we read here in the United States, if you're watching us elsewhere, is obscure at times.
It's hard. Can you imagine all the people that do the fantasy groups? when you try to find out how each player is done against each other, good luck with the WTA site because it'll freeze on you. I mean, half of the time won't even pick up on the names. Not a good site.
Yeah, so we do a lot of fantasy group stuff, and half the time we do the women's stuff, and we can't even get up to date scores or rankings or head-to-heads and so forth. For the men's, it's relatively easy. So maybe we should think about that before we take away some of the women's prize money, because there really, again, are some good women.
Yeah, and they deserve it. I mean, they're playing equally as hard.
All right, so moving forward, sorry to deviate from the scores, but we had Azarenka today that beat the Swiss player Vogel in 3 sets, or Vogel, or make sure I pronounce that right.
I think you are. Very good for Azarenka.
Great for her.
That's a good boost confidence for her. I mean, I expected her to win that, so I didn't get to watch the match. Again, they didn't even mention her.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Here we are, a new mother, a major champion, a Grand Slam champion, and we don't hear anything about the match or how she's doing or how her kid's doing or how she's doing in her personal life, but yet we hear about Nadal practicing in Mallorca. I mean, as much as I think we should cut the women a break here a little bit. Again, I'm not getting into a plus or minus or pro or con, but can we really take money from the women if we're not even giving them even big match coverage when we have the men practicing, which is irrelevant?
Well, the other problem here is, take away the money. If you've got young girls involved in the game, they can't even watch a tennis match. Like, I have Liliana. I mean, all she sees is men matches. So the only player that she knows is Serena. Well, because nothing else is advertised. The other players are never shown. The only time they show the players is when Serena's playing a Grand Slam or Venus.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So we're going to keep pushing forward because I think we'll get wrapped up in maybe an hour podcast and we not get past the first couple of matches. So to let everybody know, Azarenka's here and she's playing and she won.
Awesome.
Great for her. Good job, Azarenka. Victoria Gobika. Good job. All right, so moving forward, we had Herzog beat Kuzmova. I've heard both names. I'm not personally familiar with either one. You had Herzog win this match. Is it a big deal for me? No. Next match, but for you, is it any
No,
different?
I don't even know them. No.
All right, so next match, Kuznetsova lost to Sevitsova. We talked about this match yesterday. Kuznetsova, longtime veteran, major champion, Sevitsova, and so forth.
She's in the top 20, so yeah, she should have won that.
Okay, well,
I mean, Kuznetsova's dropped in rankings, so.
Yeah, and I watched Kuznetsova play personally in 2007 at the U.S. Open. It was a really good time, but for her to still be sticking around 11 years later than that, great job, Svetlana. Good job. All right, moving forward. So we have another match, a Swedish girl named Larsson and Sursti, who both I've heard of a lot. I've never seen either one of them play. I think Sursti may be playing Serena or Venus or someone else along the lines, but irrelevant to me.
Sursti, I watched her like several years ago, and she was in the top 20 for a while. She's dropped now down to the 50s. So, I mean, any one of them could have won. Larson's been around too for a while.
Yeah. Again, this is a pre-Wimbledon podcast to who we think has a chance, how deep they'll go in the draw. The men's and women's side, I don't see either being relevant.
No.
In what we are trying to do here. Agreed?
Sure.
All right. So, moving forward, we had Tomljanovic, an Australian girl. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That defeated a young girl by the name of, I don't know her first name, but her last name is Linette. Again, Linettee. For me, personally, irrelevant. Again, just like the match previous.
Just another match. I mean, yeah, they're not big names.
Yeah, again, to reiterate, pre-Wimbledon podcast, our forecast, who's going to win Wimbledon, I think we're in a relevant conversation. Let's move forward. Mm-hmm. We had a player by the name of Peterson that defeated American player Collins, who was a college player. She has a great story, but unfortunately, I think we're still in that same American.
Well, I mean, she's in her late 20s, so you can't really, she really hasn't followed the usual American step. I mean, she finished college and decided to play in the tour. I mean, it's her first year in the tour.
True.
She's doing well.
True. And I've seen some pretty heartfelt matches from her, right?
Yeah, she beat Venus.
Yeah, she fought
at
hard.
the Miami Open.
Wasn't it in 3 sets?
Yeah.
Maybe it was straight sets.
No, it was 3 sets.
Good match though. Good for her, but I think it's another relevant match going into Wimbledon. I may be wrong, hopefully not, but I'm pretty sure it is. Again, besides Venus, besides Serena, besides Sloane Stephens, currently, I'm sorry, but I don't have any more hopefuls currently for Wimbledon. Moving forward. All right, so we had another match today, a U.S. player by the name of Kenin, Kenin. I'm not personally familiar with her at all. She defeated another player who I am not familiar with at all, Kozlova, Kozlova. Are you aware?
No, I've never heard of them.
Yeah,
but I will find out more information for next time.
Yeah, we'll find out more. Surely they're both great players. Again, it's really hard to keep up with all the players for all the tournaments, but we hope we see more from them. Kind of like the Vekic girl. We never heard of her. We kept up with her for now 3 tournaments, and she's keeps hanging around, right? So maybe we'll learn more about these girls. The last one I have that completed today was a player named Latiner. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Latiner defeated Sasnovich, Sasnovich. I personally don't know anything about either one of those two. Again, I'll do my homework. Sorry, I don't know. You?
I have never, no. I couldn't even put a face to the name. No clue who they are. But like I said, we'll learn.
We'll learn. I think they all deserve a hand in this tournament. And again, as we...
And see, and Lynette's currently ranked 78. So
78?
She's dropped 10. And she played... Who did she play?
She played... who, Lynette?
Mm-hmm. It's Lothar you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't even see a ranking for them.
All right, so good research, and we'll have more homework done for that tomorrow or when we go into our 9th and 10th or 10th and 11th shows, going into the quarterfinals and semifinals this weekend of these tournaments. So notable matches tomorrow for the Mallorca Open. This girl, Kenin, Kenin, plays this girl, Von Utfunk. I'm totally probably spaced on both last names. I'm very sorry. You deserve recognition.
Well, her first name's Allison, so I mean, that's all. I can't pronounce her last name.
You deserve recognition, much better than myself, much better than we could ever aspire to have been.
She's in the top 50, so she deserves it.
Bravo, and we hope to see more from you, and hope that you girls get more marketing time, because it's not necessarily copacetic that we don't know your names and we follow this game every day, whether it's men, women, seniors, McEnroe, and we just don't hear about you, but we should. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Am I wrong? Look, we should hear about you. Thank you for playing. We're with you. We're following you, and we're with you. Okay? All right, so another match tomorrow, Maria versus Withoft.
Withold, is she German? I thought she was.
Possibly.
I thought we talked about her yesterday. I can't remember.
Yeah, so again, what we're trying to hammer home here is that women's tennis is important for us, and it's important for everybody that loves this game. And we sit here at night and we really try to study the women's game, but it's so hard. And
she's from Germany, yes.
German players, so elusive to get to the results. So we want to bring them to you. So hopefully we hear more from you girls. We'll be studying you, I promise. All right, so tomorrow we have one other player, Aruba Barrena, Spanish player that beat Suarez Navarro.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of her. We wish more from you. And again, I'm driving it home. Hopefully we can have more access to your results. She plays Sam Stosur, who you know has won a major.
Yes, she won the U.S. Open. She beat Serena.
Yeah, so I forecasted Stosur to do well this tournament. She laughed at me. If you look at my first video or my second video of women's tennis coming to grass court season, she laughed at me. I was in Vermont 2007, and she had a good run on some grass then, and I think she's going to bring it back now. So we'll see what happens. So the last match forecasted for tomorrow is Garcia, who is the French girl.
Yes, so she's the #1 seed in the tournament, so she's playing Larson, and she should win.
Yeah, Larson, I think, is a Swedish girl?
Correct. She's in the top 50 as well, I think.
Again, is there Wimbledon champion implications with this match?
No.
No, but if there is, then maybe it's because we haven't heard a lot about these girls because of their very hard to pick up on media coverage. So I'm going to reiterate, before we take the girls' money, let's make sure that we give them equal opportunity for media coverage. All right, so lastly, we're going to move into the last tournament, and we're going to wrap this up for the day. It's the Nature Valley Classic. Third time I've run into the name Nature Valley Invitational, Nature Valley Classic, whatever. But we're going to roll into it anyway. Matches completed today. We had Barty that had a deep run last week in a tournament that took out Dodin, D-O-D-I-N today. Mm-hmm. Any news on that?
Good for Barty. Didn't she just win the last tournament in Nottingham?
She did.
She beat contest, so good for her. She's has a streak going. I mean, that's always important for a tennis player, before they get to that Grand Slam.
Agreed. Sorry, I have to check the camera. As you know, we do this as something that we enjoy, and we don't have anybody help us. So pardon me if I get up and look at the camera. All right, so we had Muguruza today that cruised. I mean, like surfing, hanging 10, like no problem. That cruised over Pavlyuchenkova, and I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Pavlyuchenkova, yes. Oh, I'm glad for Muguruza. I mean, yeah, she's a top 5 player, so.
Yeah, and her opponent wasn't bad. Let's be real. Rybar or Pavlyuchenkova, is a good player.
Yeah, she's a hard hitting Russian. I mean, but Muguruza is number 3 in the world, so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she should have creamed her.
Yeah, and she played a good opponent, and to cruise through that. Watch out again. We both, I think, would agree that Muguruza is a Wimbledon semifinalist, if not a champion.
She was a champion before. She can do it again.
Yeah, let's make sure we keep Muguruza in the top 4 for Wimbledon. Again, don't forget about Serena and Sharapova. We haven't been researching much, except for that they're out there. We all know that. But in these tournaments, they haven't been popping up. We've gotten Kerber back, and we've gotten Kvitova back, and we've got Azarenka back, but elusive has still been Sharapova and Serena, and I'm sure there's a lot more to that story. So, all right, so we're going to move on to today, the match that I talked about yesterday that she laughed at me about. Strykova playing Brady. Want to talk about it again?
I don't even know why you had hope for Brady to win that. I mean,
she
beat Coco. No, she didn't beat Coco. She beat Eugene Bouchard, didn't she?
Yeah.
But she lost today.
She don't even want to talk about it. See, I'm going to check the camera before I get into this one. This is one of my deep things. Okay, so I'm going to go deep on this one. Yesterday, if you watch our other video, I told her that Brady beat Bouchard, and that if Brady beat Bouchard and then she beat this girl today, that it would consolidate the importance of her win against Bouchard. However, I said that if Brady lost this match against this girl, then it would really hurt her in terms of everyone is now going to say, well, Bouchard sucks and she's even worse. She lost. Was I right? Did I wait a minute, hold on. Go back, look at the video yesterday where I mentioned this topic, and now look at today. Was I right? I told you if Brady lost, that's another embarrassment for American tennis. And even worse for Bouchard. Bouchard, get a new bikini, go take a picture somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Brady, I don't know. I've never watched her play. No disrespect. But
the USTA
obviously, that win against Bouchard wasn't very important.
No, USTA needs to help her out a bit more on her game. I mean, I've watched her play. I think she needs to get a bit fitter. One. I think that's most of the American players' problems. You know that? They're not fit enough to play this sport.
Or they pout or ask for their coach at the sidelines.
No, that's Osaka. But they're not. If you look
she's Japanese. Sorry.
Yes,
I keep thinking she's American.
If you look at players like Brady and Coco, they're professional players. You would expect them to be fit for this game, and they're not.
Okay, so I'm going to further that. Carla just mentioned an important name. She said Coco, which means Van de Ven, right? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Drum roll. Coco Van de Ven today gets beaten by Martic. M-A-R.
And badly.
Badly.
Yeah. I fired Pat Cash.
Pat Cash, man.
And
it's not you, bro. It's
no,
not you. It's not you, Pat Cash. It's not you, Pat Cash. It's American tennis right now.
But he's not American.
I understand that.
She needs to get a fitness coach, one, to get her in shape, because she's not in shape for tennis. That's one. Two, a different coach, because he's a loudmouth. somebody that thinks differently. Two arrogant people can't be together.
And at some point, you have to say, "Come on!"
No, she says, "Come on."
Yeah, but she says, "Come on," in some theatrical performance. I'm telling you from a coach's perspective, "Come on!" What are we doing, man? Don't look up here. Just play the game. Just play the game. Man. Moving forward. Kazatkina, who reminds me, Kazatkina, good player, reminds me of her. Kazatkina, pretty girl, body similar. Woo! 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 Watch out for Kazatkina at Wimbledon.
Oh, man.
So, look.
She's actually a very good up-and-coming Russian player. She's got a wicked forehand. I mean, I think she beat Venus at Indian Wells.
I think so.
I mean,
maybe. Yeah,
she got to the final and she lost. But, I mean, she's got a tremendous forehand, and she's a powerful player. She just needs a bit more experience and a bit more confidence. And she got to the quarters of the French Open as well.
She's built like Carla, too. And I don't say Carla's built like her. I say she is built like Carla because she's her años superior, years años superior. She has años grande to Carla. Oh. So Carla's older, so she looks like her.
Yes, I'm way older than her, but
that's right. Watch out for her. Okay, she's got a chance at Wimbledon. I'm not saying semifinalist, quarterfinalist.
You know, she actually does. She's a person that I would actually pick for my bracket.
She's a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
She's like her. Okay? She's like her. Go, Kazatkina. Pulling for you. Pulling for you, girl. All right, so we're going to move forward. Wait a minute. Kazatkina, the reason why I brought her up in the first place, beat the other Pliskova sister. So both the Pliskova, Caroline and Christina, are both out of the tournament.
Well, I mean, Christina and what's the other one?
Carolina.
Well, Caroline is the top one, right? She's the top seed one.
Correct.
So that was a surprise. Christina, not so much. But usually grass does suit people who can slice, drop shot, come to the net, and that's the type of game she has. Exactly.
Moving forward, here was the big match today that finished up, and it was an easy win for Petra Kvitova, who took out Konta today, which is a surprise for me. I expected the Konta to do better on grass in England. Your thoughts? I'm checking the camera.
I'm glad Kvitova won that. If she needs that match, I mean, I pick her as, depending how the bracket's going to come out, she would be one of the finalists, in my opinion.
I agree totally. Hasn't Kvitova won here before?
She won, yeah, several years ago. I don't know who she beat. I can't remember who she beat.
I don't recall it either. Maybe it was Wanska type player.
No. I in my head I have either Sharapova or
maybe
Serena.
Or Kerber.
It was a while ago.
Lizicki, maybe?
I can't remember. No, I don't think Lizicki ever made a final.
All right, so trivia question. Let us know who Kvitova played in Wimbledon and won her Wimbledon. And maybe she didn't win Wimbledon, but I thought she won Wimbledon.
She did win Wimbledon, yes.
Who did Kvitova beat in Wimbledon? Let us know. We'd love to hear the comments. If you watched this far, hey, thank you very much. Click subscribe below and click like below. All right, here we go. So moving forward, we have a couple names that I'm somewhat familiar with. Never seen either of them play. Bazanescu defeats Babos. I've seen Babos before. Babanescu, never heard.
Never heard. I couldn't tell you anything.
Any Wimbledon implications?
No.
Moving forward. Sarenko defeats Heather Watson. Sarenko heard of her before. Heather Watson watched her play numerous times. Heather Watson lost.
Bad for Britain. I mean, she was supposed to be like the next big thing. Before even I've ever heard of contact, Watson, I mean, you would hear Watson's name all the time, and she's just not, living up to what she's supposed to do.
So let me ask you a question. Who wins in a match against Konta versus Watson head-to-head?
Konta should beat her.
Should.
But several years ago, I would have told you Watson.
Based upon the performances from both today, I don't know who. I think I would just flip a coin, right?
No, I think Konta still has a lead against her.
Okay, are Watson and Konta better than our best, not including, we cannot include Sloane Stephens, Serena Williams, and Venus Williams in this conversation. They are not involved in American tennis conversation.
You can't even involve Madison Keys in that conversation.
Okay, we'll take Madison Keys out. But every other American player is Konta, or if you compared Konta and Watson to the rest of the field of American girl tennis players, would you say that Watson and Konta were better than the rest of the field? And I think you should still leave Madison Keys in that field, by the way. She hasn't proven much to me at all. But Venus, Serena, and Sloane Stephens, take them out of it, in my opinion. I think Madison Keys is still in Osaka, is still in everyone else. Mm-hmm. Are they better?
They're better. Would
you rather take the rest of the field of American players, tennis players, or take the two British, Watson and Konta?
I would take the two British girls.
I would take them too. Anyway, moving forward. I'm glad we agree upon that. So we're going to move to the next match, which is another person I haven't heard of. It's Jakupovic, defeated today Mertens. I've heard of Mertens for years. The other player?
Mertens is number 15 player in the world.
And he Wimbledon.
So that's a big win for Jakupovic. I can't even say her name.
Any Wimbledon implications?
No, none.
Moving forward, Cornet, longtime player, defeated Makarova today. Any implications there?
Makarova's actually made so many quarters in Grand Slams. She's a Russian player, lefty. Great player to watch.
Great player. Now, when I hear Makarova, because I get a lot of the OVA last names confused, I wrote down a note here that Safarova and Bethany Maddox-Sands have agreed to play Wimbledon doubles together, which is their niche, their specialty, at the same tournament last year where Maddox-Sands blew out her knee. This is a good story, right?
I think it's great.
Great.
I mean, they were at the top before she got hurt. It's awesome. And then Safarova's even improved her singles after that happened.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I think of American tennis these days, it's number one. I think of the Bryan brothers, even though they're I was watching the Bryan brothers when they came to Mobile, Alabama, and did a charity event with Andy Roddick and Marty Fish at the Mobile Tennis Center way back in the day. I had to say it's 2003 maybe or 4, and they're still going. But when I think of American tennis greats, I think of the Bryan brothers currently, and then when I think of doubles players for women or any woman besides, again, Sloane Stephens, Serena Williams, and Venus Williams, I think of, believe it or not, Maddox-Sands and Safarova playing doubles together.
Yeah, well, Sands is American, but Safarova's, I think she's Czechoslovakian? Or?
Yeah. I think she's trained a lot in the States, though.
Yes.
And I think they're pretty tight.
They are. I mean, it's great to see them play. They're both fighters, and I'm glad she's back in the game again.
All right, so we're running out of time here, guys. My camera cuts off shortly. We have Svitolina today defeated Vekic in 3 sets. We've seen her names a lot.
Well, she's the number 4 seed. She should have won that in 2 sets.
Yeah, exactly. To me, Svitolina may have a chance to get around to 16 at Wimbledon, but maybe not even past the first round, so we'll see. Tomorrow, notable matches. I can't even say that. Rybarikova versus Dominic Thiem's girlfriend, Mladenovic. Does it matter?
Well, she's a top 15 player. I mean, she's got a lot of problems. She should win that match.
Is either one of them winning Wimbledon?
No, probably not. But she will get into the second week.
All right, tomorrow, Osaka versus Jakupovic.
Osaka should win that, right?
I hope so. I don't care. Honestly, I just wish I had more access to these girls and commentators that actually cover these girls, because they deserve the coverage. They really do, man. They're out here working, man. They really are.
It's tough to be a tennis player.
Yeah,
it's an individual sport. You don't get paid well unless you are in the top and you have sponsors. So it is a tough.
I mean, she has 5 kids. We have 5 kids, and we go out and play tennis. And if it's not the right day or the right perfect day when a mom of 5 kids gets out of bed, much less 1 kid, or much less just being female. I mean, if you're not on, you're not on. Or for these girls to work like this, man, and unfortunately have to bring other guys out to play on the practice courts to sell tickets, I don't think that's right. That one sex makes more money than the other if they're not selling tickets, but at the same time, don't you have to give them the same coverage? Don't you have to at least give them a trial run with the same coverage? Give them a trial run with the same coverage. And don't make them sell themselves out on cliffs with bikini shoots, because that's wrong. Give them the same coverage for a year. Suck up the cost. You build your academies. You build your covered roof courts. Give them some coverage for a year. And if it's still that far-fetched from both sides, then talk about it. But give them some coverage before you make them do swimsuit shoots when they're trying to get better at tennis, man. Wake up. Anyway, all right, so another match tomorrow, Cornet versus Svitolina. Again, I don't think there's...
Svitolina should win that, right?
Should win it. Wimbledon implications for either.
Nah, we'll see.
Two other names, the Bazarescu name versus Martic tomorrow. Again, I wish I knew more, but I just don't.
Coin toss.
Coin toss. So look, that sums up the night. I hope everyone had a great time and enjoyed our men's show from earlier and this one today. And we're going to keep coming. And yeah, it takes a lot of time to do the research and to bring it to you. And it humbles us. So we understand that people that do this for a living and we just do it for fun, takes a lot of work. Anyway, we still want our shot on the Dan Patrick Show. Just give us 3 minutes. Just give us 3 minutes. We listen to your show every day, DP.
We do. Yes.
Every day we listen to it, bro. And the Danettes, you do great research, but for tennis, we got you. We got you. And we look forward to hopefully the fruition of such an opportunity. So from us here at 5K Tennis, thank you very much. We always enjoy the show. And we hope for a great day tomorrow when we do our men's and women's update. Luckily for us, the draws shrink, so we have less homework to do, right?
Yes. Today was long.
I still haven't figured out what we do for Wimbledon, though. It's like 128 matches. How do we do that?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We might have to do, like, some weird, like, only do the top players, top 25, and then a few unseeded stories or something, but... good night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe below. Thanks so much for watching. Check us out on Facebook at 5K Tennis, on Instagram at 5K Tennis, and from all of us here, all 5 of our kids, all of you guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for our men's and women's update. Hopefully it's shorter. See you later.
Bye-bye. Good night.